Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I am back sitting on my living room floor. I tried to do the whole backgrounds thing and I just could not find one that I loved. I couldn't find a setup that I liked. I felt like everything looked too busy behind me. I felt like it looked a little bit too contrived and like I tried too hard. And honestly, I feel like I just like to sit down on my floor and just have a conversation and sort of talk to you guys. So this just felt really comfortable for me, and because of the particular topic of the video today, I really wanted to do something that felt more comfortable for me and just felt easy. As you can see by the title of this video, today I'm going to be talking about my skincare journey. And I will say it's been a little bit difficult for me to film a video like this. I know I haven't been on YouTube in a little while. I took a little bit of a break. I was traveling a ton over the last month. I was in Washington visiting family, and then I was in New York for Fashion Week and also visiting my sister. And then I had a lot going on back home, and I actually ended up getting a skincare procedure once I got back from my New York trip, which took about 2 weeks for me to be able to even put makeup back on and look somewhat normal. And that is why it took me so long to A, film this video, and B, why I haven't been on YouTube in about a month. I think my sister and I uploaded the Bean Boozled challenge like a month ago or something. But as you can tell by the title of this video, this is going to be sort of my experience and my journey with my skin. It is definitely an emotional video for me to film because, as you know, if you are somebody who has struggled with acne or any kind of a skin condition or skin issues, it is really emotional. And there is a lot that you go through. There is a lot of self-esteem issues that can come from it, and I definitely suffered from that. But I do think that it is really important that I share my experience just in case there's somebody out there who is going through something like I went through when I was younger and throughout my entire skincare journey. I have tried to film this video a couple of times, and the reason why I haven't really been able to do it successfully is because I do get emotional when I think about that time in my life. I believe that the ages of 13, 14, 15, those sort of really important years of puberty and growing are very sensitive and delicate. And I was really struggling, and it was definitely a problem. It made my self-esteem take a huge dive. I have always been a happy, outgoing, friendly, like to meet new people type of person. But I will say during this time, I was so self-conscious that I would avoid going out, I would avoid going to parties. I did everything I could to sort of stay away from people who may meet me for the first time, and I just knew what the first thought in their head was gonna be. Oh my gosh, this poor girl, her acne is terrible. So my intention for this video is to share my skincare journey. I'm obviously not a dermatologist. I am not a specialist. I'm not an esthetician. This is not in any way me telling you what to do with your skin or what to buy or how to go about clearing up your skin specifically. This is just me sharing my story and the things that worked for me, just in case there are some things that I mentioned that maybe you hadn't thought about, or some things that you can bring up to your dermatologist. It is super important that you are always seeing your dermatologist and you are getting advice from a medical professional. Everything that I have done in my skincare journey has been by direction from a dermatologist and an esthetician. I very rarely will just go out and try things because I just don't have that kind of skin that, you know, really responds well to random products. I'm very sensitive. So that is the first and most important thing I need to share with you guys. So to give you a little bit of background, I started struggling with my skin at about age 13 because I was so embarrassed of my skin and how bad it was, and because when I was 13 there were no iPhones, there were no digital cameras. I mean, there were, but it wasn't something that everyone just had around constantly like we do now. So I really don't have a lot of photos of me at that time, and I definitely don't have any of me just barefaced with my acne in full force, fully inflamed. I avoided pictures like the plague when I was that age. If anyone goes into our family photos, there are so few pictures of me between the ages of 13 to 16 because my skin was so bad and I hadn't quite learned how to cope with how I felt about it and my self-esteem. If you go on and you Google cystic acne, I can guarantee you that any of those pictures are going to be a great representation of exactly what my skin looked like. I had horrible cystic acne all down my cheeks. I would get it on my neck. I would get it in pretty much any place. I used to get it behind my ears. It was really, really bad. I cannot stress enough how terrible it was. I know that sometimes you look at people's faces and you're like, oh my gosh, your acne is not that bad, but I promise you, I had people coming up to me out in public saying, I have a great dermatologist that could really help you. I know somebody, or I know a certain thing. I mean, people were literally coming out of the woodwork, strangers out and about, to try and help me because they saw how bad my skin was. Side note, as much as I'm sure they all meant well, don't do this to somebody, okay? Like, just don't, because I can't even tell you how many times I would break down in tears after one of these conversations. Like, it never helped. It doesn't help. So don't do this unless it's a very, very close friend of yours and you are coming from such a place of love and wanting to help them, and you can tell that they want this assistance or they want your suggestions. Do not go up to strangers and talk about their skin. It's so rude and it makes them feel terrible. Okay, now that I have that off my chest, I looked up a recent study that said that 85% of people actually do suffer with acne at some point in their life. So obviously it's a common problem and everyone has different levels of what their skin looks like. And that's why I think it's so important that you go to a dermatologist or you go to an esthetician and you really talk about what kind of skin you have and you figure out what kind of skin you have, what kind of acne you have. Those are the first steps to figuring out a plan for how to fix it. Okay, so part 2, how I fix my acne. So at this point, I had been prescribed a ton of topical solutions and antibiotics for my skin. For example, I had tried clindamycin, doxycycline, benzocaine, retinoids, salicylic acid, benzoyl peroxide. I had tried birth control to try and control the acne and control my hormones. Please keep in mind that acne comes from a lot of different things. It could be what you're eating, it could be your hormones, it could be just the way your DNA is made up. It's all kinds of different reasons why you're getting acne. Again, this is why it's so important to go to a dermatologist or an esthetician so that you can really hone in on what kind of acne, what kind of skin, what they think is the reason why you are breaking out. Now, I will say that birth control did help a little bit for my acne. I do believe that my acne was definitely a hormonal issue. So that is one thing that I will say did help my acne a little bit, was my birth control and getting my hormones a little bit more balanced. I think that that really did help, although it didn't make any kind of huge sweeping big changes. I still was having terrible cystic acne. I was still in a ton of pain. I tried every face cream, every wash, every toner, everything that you could possibly imagine over the counter. I attempted, I tried expensive, super high-end products. I tried the normal drugstore products and absolutely none of it was working. So right around the time that I was really struggling with acne, it had been years, I was probably about 17, I found out about a little pill that we all know as Accutane. So Accutane is actually the brand name for isotretinoin, and it was very intimidating. I do believe that even to this day, it is a very highly debated product for acne clearing. I think that some people really struggle with whether or not they want to go on it or not. There's a lot that goes into it. You have to take blood tests. You have to check in every 3 weeks to make sure, especially as a woman, that you're not pregnant. If you get pregnant on Accutane, there are extremely high chances of birth defects. So there's a lot of side effects that can happen from Accutane or isotretinoin. I don't believe Accutane is still on shelves as Accutane. I believe they took it off the shelves, but isotretinoin is still available. It's definitely a hotly debated medication. Side effects are all over the place. As I said, you are more than welcome to look them up. I don't necessarily want to list them all here. So basically what it does is it reduces inflammation, and as it was put in an article that I read recently about Accutane, it makes pores inhospitable to bacteria. Now, everyone has different side effects. I was actually taking it at the same time as a very good friend of mine. We actually went into the dermatologist together. We both were put on a regimen of Accutane together, and he and I both had very different side effects. There was only one that we both had. So I went to my dermatologist and I pretty much said, what else can we do? She did decide that it was an appropriate step for us because we had tried so many other options. I took 2 pills every day for 6 months. And you guys, it truly changed my life. I say this because for the first time in years and years and years, my acne started fading away. The cystic acne, the bumps, the whiteheads, everything started to fade away until one day I woke up and I did not have a single spot on my face. And I get emotional talking about this because, damn it. I get emotional talking about this because for somebody who struggled so long with acne, it was so incredible to look in the mirror one day and not have this like looming albatross of embarrassment hanging over me. And of course, I am somebody who is very body positive. It's a huge thing that I am a supporter of. I'm also a big supporter of loving who you are and loving the skin you're in. But when you're dealing with acne, you're dealing with a different beast. You're dealing with something that doesn't have to be forever a part of you. It doesn't have to be something that you struggle with every single day. There are ways to change it that are healthy. So I actually remember the day that I woke up and I had no acne on my face. I remember running into my parents' room and just shouting, "Look at my face. I have no more acne, you guys. Look, 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 look." I was just so happy. And I remember that day like it was yesterday. It was so special and so amazing. So now to get on to the side effects that I experienced with Accutane. I would say that I actually got off pretty easy with Accutane. I didn't experience a ton of side effects. I would say the worst side effect that I experienced was a ton of dryness. And when I say dryness, I mean like dryness to the point where my lips were like cracking and bleeding. It was like no joke, like serious dryness all over my body. I was constantly moisturizing. Even to this day, my skin errs on the side of dry when it didn't way before when I was suffering with acne. But I feel like Accutane just dried me out like a raisin. Like it just took all the oil and all of the moisture in my body and sucked it up. I felt like that episode of SpongeBob when he goes to Sandy's house and he can't breathe. And he's just like disintegrating. I mean, that's truly how I felt and that's how I looked. My lips were just like flaking away, but honestly, I didn't care. I would have gone through just about any side effect to get rid of acne. And that is like how intense and desperate I was to finally get rid of this issue. So Accutane not only cleared all of my acne, but it pretty much guaranteed that I would have almost no breakouts for up to this point in my life. Now, obviously, knock on wood, I haven't really struggled with any extreme acne breakouts. I do get the occasional breakout from my period or if I'm very stressed out. Sometimes we'll tend to have maybe like a spot here or a spot there, but my cystic acne for the most part is gone. So yes, Accutane was an absolute miracle for me personally. Again, I was instructed by my dermatologist. She checked up. I went in, you know, 3 times a week. She would check my skin. They would take my blood. I don't know if they do that anymore. I'm not quite sure what the procedure is nowadays. This was, like I said, 10 years ago. So things may have changed by now. It may have lightened up. It may be more intense. I'm not really sure. That was my experience. Anytime I talk to somebody about it, I always say, look, my experience was great. Do your research. Do everything you can to do your due diligence. Try other things before you do Accutane. But if you're considering it, this is my experience. It was wonderful and it was so life-changing. I cannot even tell you guys. Fast forward to a couple of years ago. My acne had cleared up. Yes! So happy, so stoked, like living on cloud 9. I was able to put my foundation on. This is when I really started getting into makeup, but I still had one more issue. And that, my friends, was acne scarring. So the way that I have gone about really trying to work and heal my acne scarring is a laser procedure called Fraxel. So basically what Fraxel does is it is a laser treatment and it targets skin aging, it targets sun-damaged skin, it penetrates deep into your skin and it really expedites your skin's production of collagen. So I'm going to show some before pictures and some after pictures as well as some in between for my Fraxel treatments. So up to now, I have had 4 Fraxel treatments. They usually recommend anywhere from 1 to 3, depending on the severity of your scarring. This is also really good for aging, if you have sunspots, if you have fine lines. It's an amazing treatment for so many different reasons, and I highly, highly recommend it. I will say, I do believe that I have a pretty intense healing process after Fraxel. They say that you are not supposed to go outside for at least 7 days. You should not be in the sun. You should wear sunscreen. You should be wearing sunscreen every day, and this is another really big tip. Please wear sunscreen, you guys. So yes, I will say that I have a pretty intense recovery time when I do recover from my Fraxel procedures. My skin gets extremely red, as if I got a sunburn. It's very flaky, and the worst part is it's very puffy. I look like a blowfish. I feel like I just look like a very blown up version of myself. I remember when I first started getting the procedures, my husband and I were long distance and we were just dating as boyfriend and girlfriend, and I would not FaceTime him for the whole week that I had had this recovery going on because I was so embarrassed at how red and puffy I was. But anyway, it has truly, truly transformed the texture of my skin. It has helped my acne scars immensely. They were very, very bad in this area. And as you can see, they have, of course I have makeup on right now, but if anyone who has acne scars knows, makeup can only cover so much. Makeup for the most part will cover discoloration, it will cover hyperpigmentation, but there's very little that it can do for deep pock marks. You know, there's only so much that you can do when you have literal skin missing in the side of the face. So it has really helped my cheek area. The most recent procedure that I only got done on my cheeks because that is really the only place that I have issues with anymore with scarring. And let me tell you guys, it has honestly been so amazing and life-changing to start with Accutane, clear up my skin, and then finally get this Fraxel surgery. I get my Fraxel done at Westside Aesthetics in Brentwood. They are incredible there. If you guys want to reach out to them, they're so helpful, such lovely people. As far as a pain level goes, it's not a comfortable procedure, like by any means. I don't want to scare you because they do numb you, and that definitely helps exponentially. But if you're somebody who thinks you're gonna go in and get like a fun facial with Fraxel, you're wrong, because it is no joke. But understand, you guys, sometimes beauty is pain, no gain. That's just what you gotta do if you want serious results.
So I wanted to go through really quickly some of the products that I use that have really helped keep my acne at bay. The first thing is my face wash. This is the Aveeno Clear Complexion Foaming Cleanser. I've been using this for a really, really long time, and I absolutely love it. It's amazing. It keeps my skin so clear. The next is the Tatcha Deep Cleanse. I love this. It's kind of coming apart a little bit, but I do use it all the time and I travel with it. I love this for exfoliating. I think it's very gentle, and I really, really love most of all Tatcha's products and think they're really wonderful. And it's exfoliating, but it's still very gentle and it's hydrating. Another product that I use every single day and every single night is the Tatcha Essence. This is a toner and I just love it. I feel like it really preps my skin for any moisturizers, for any masks, and I just really, really love it and have found that it's done a lot of good for my skin. As far as face masks, I love to use the Siloxalin Moisture Extreme Hydrating Mask with activated water. I just think that this is a very cooling, hydrating, wonderful mask, and I use it 1 to 2 times a week, and I feel like it's just really done a great job hydrating my skin. For a daily moisturizer, I always use the Origins Ginseng Energy Boosting Gel Moisturizer. This is very hydrating. It's wonderful. It's one of their more popular products, and I just absolutely love this. I also love their under eye cream from the same line. It is also very cooling, energizing, and brightening. So I highly recommend this for moisturizing in the morning, for the day. And then for nighttime, I've been using the Origins High Potency Nitamins cream, and I do like this. I have been using it for a couple weeks now, and I feel like it does a pretty good job Sometimes I feel like I have to add a little bit of moisturizing oil in addition to this, but I have so far loved what it's been doing. Another product that I will always put on before I know that I'm going out is my CeraVe facial moisturizing lotion, and this actually has an SPF of 30, which is amazing. I highly recommend always moisturizing and always wearing SPF before you go out for your day. And I've just found that this has been the lightest and the most comfortable wearing SPF lotion and moisturizer. Another product that I've been using and I've been really loving since my skin is pretty much fully healed from the laser procedure. This is the Ordinary Lactic Acid, and this is a peeling formulation. And I really like this. I feel like it just does a light exfoliation on my skin. I put it on at night and I just leave it on, and I feel like it's done a lot of really good things for my skin, and it's really helped brighten my complexion a lot. Another product from The Ordinary is their vitamin C lotion. This is really, really good for brightening and anti-aging. It's a very popular one of their products, and it's very highly, highly reviewed online. So do your research for sure, but I definitely recommend this just for brightening and just kind of, you know, a little pick-me-up for the skin. I love this guy. Okay guys, so this right here is actually a secret weapon of mine for whenever I do have my very rare breakout moments. This is the Clean and Clear Persagel 10. This stuff is amazing. If you put this on, I promise your acne or your spot will go away in like 2 days. It works for ingrown hairs. I just absolutely love this as a spot treatment, and I think it's one of the most effective spot treatments that I have ever used. So I highly recommend this particular product. And the number one thing that I will always recommend for really healing your skin and keeping your skin hydrated and healthy is drinking lots of water. I actually got this really cute 1 gallon jug on Amazon. I will have it linked below, but I just think that this is really helpful to kind of get you drinking as much water as possible. It divvies up your day, so you kind of know how much you have to go, how much you've drinking, and it's just like very cute. And I don't know, it just makes me happy whenever I read these little sentences. Like, it just keeps me going, keeps me motivated to drink water, guys.
All right guys, so that is gonna be it for me and my skincare journey story. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this video was very requested. I asked on my Instagram, which by the way, if you are not following, I asked on my Instagram a while back if this was something that you guys would want me to talk on, and the response was great. You guys definitely were excited and wanted to hear my story, and I was happy to share it with you guys. And I hope that if this even helps one person to come up with other ideas or other options that they can talk to their dermatologist about, that would bring me so much joy, because I know the struggle. I know how hard it is to go through this, but just know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. There are so many options out there, and there is a way to fix your acne. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. How was our lighting? Shadow, light. I don't know, but here we go.